And good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the USC Aiken Convocation Center for some Peach Belt basketball featuring the host USC Aiken Pacers and the visiting Augusta Jaguars. I'm Marcus Johnson, thanking you for joining us for tonight's action. Pacers coming into today's game with a 5-2 overall record, matched equally by their opponent, the Augusta Jags. In terms of conference play, however, the Pacers sitting at 4-1 in the conference, while Augusta is sitting at 3-2 overall. Pacers with a 3-1 home record, Augusta with a 1-2 on the 1-2 road record, so Pacers have the advantage in that category as well. But we'll see how that all plays out on the hardwood, as the Augusta Jaguars have taken to the court now. Their starting lineup is as follows: number 0, Tyshawn Crawford; number 2, Tyree Myers; number 3, Leaf Lenore; number 11, Darren Lucas White; and number 35, John Whitehead III, sitting out there for the Jaguars. They are matched up against the Pacers starting lineup of number 0, DeMontez Oliver; number 1, Latravian Black; number 2, Terry Horn; number 3, Jacoby Pearson; and number 11, Gus Rowland, all getting the start today for the Pacers. Well, we'll get things going as Crawford and Black stand at half court to take the tip-off. And Crawford easily gets that with his 7'2" frame. And the Jaguars will start things off with possession of the ball. Myers with it, gives it to Crawford. Crawford driving in hard towards the basket, gives a little shove here and there, and he puts one up for two to get things going here in Aiken, South Carolina. Rowland with the ball now. Rowland will give it on off to Pearson, who hands it to Black. Nice little bounce pass, shot up on a layup. Terry Horn getting a beautiful pass from Black and putting it down to even things up to start off the game. Tyree Myers gives it to Lucas White. Quick handoff to Flanor. Flanor trying to get around Oliver. A lot of good defense there by the Pacers. Shot no good. Rebound picked up by Black. Pearson with the ball for USC Aiken. Pearson dancing around trying to get into the paint, but he'll back off a little bit. Bounce pass to Rowland. Rowland slows things down as the Pacers try to get set up. Oliver back to Rowland. Rowland looking for three. Off the rim and no good. And the Jaguars take the rebound. Myers gives it to Lucas White. There's the long three-point try. No good. And picking up the rebound, Terry Horn. Horn bringing it in himself. Pulls back for a minute. Tries to charge back in, but he'll give it to Oliver. Now Rowland with it. He's checked by Lucas White. Bounce pass in for Black. Black standing around. Just gives it off to Horn. Horn putting up a shot in coverage, rolled around the rim and would not go. Jaguars take the rebound. Myers gets a bit of a screen. Pass in for Crawford. Crawford with a pass on out for Myers. Myers looking for three. That one wouldn't go. And the Pacers back the other way on the hands of Rowland. Rowland, a little bounce pass in for Black. Black checked by Crawford. Pass on out for Rowland. Rowland driving in hard towards the basket. He'll throw it back on out. Long three-point try, and nothing but net. Putting it down is Terry Horn. Pacers take the lead 5-2. Myers checked by Rowland up at half court. He'll get it into Lucas White. Lucas White back on out for Flanor, and Leaf Lenore gives it right over to Tyree Myers. Crawford with the ball. He gets double-teamed, but he's able to get it out. Here's Whitehead. Whitehead putting up three, and Whitehead puts it down. We are all tied up again. Oliver and Rowland will bring it up, flanking each other. Rowland pulls back. He's looking for three. Oh, around the rim and no good. Going up and getting the rebound is Flanor. Myers to Lucas White. Into the paint. And Flanor reaches up and drops it in, picking up a pair of points on the effort. Oliver pulls back. He's going to go for three now. That one no good, and Crawford reaches up and grabs the rebound. Little half step there by Tyree Myers. Got the defense to flinch. However, his three-point try is no good. Long pass in for Black. Black has to pull back. And unfortunately, he was overthrown too much. Couldn't go and get the rebound. Go and get the layup. Quincy Canty coming onto the court now for USC Aiken. And Timmy Sellers will take over for Tyshawn Crawford on the Augusta side. Jaguars will bring the ball up now. Lucas White passes it on off. Here's Flanor with the ball. Lee Flanor getting a lot of pressure here. Can't seem to find anybody who's open. He just hands it off to Lucas White. In under the basket and putting it down is Timmy Sellers. Jaguars up 9-5 now. Pearson gets the ball. And a foul will be called here on the play on the floor, and it looks like it's going to be on Tyree Myers getting called for the foul. And that will bring us to our first media timeout with 15:50 to go in the first half. The Jags lead the Pacers 9-5. And we're back. In the break, Sean Moss checked into the game for Augusta. And the Pacers will come in with the ball. 21 seconds on their shot clock as they trail the Jaguars by 4 early on here in the first half. Rowland will bring it up. Thinks about handing it off. Now he'll just pass it off to Horn. Horn will give it to Canty. And now Black with the pass off. Pearson with 5 seconds on the shot clock. Lots of pressure here. Not a lot of open room. Going for 3 from the corner. And that one overshoots the basket. It'll be a shot clock violation on the Pacers. And Augusta will take over. Jaguars bringing it in. Darren Lucas White with it. His pass is almost deflected away. Now Sean Moss with the ball. Passed in for Flanor. Flanor back out to Moss. That one goes to Whitehead. And Darren Lucas White with the ball. Lucas White driving in a little bit. Pulls back, puts a shot up. And it's no good. The rebound, Jacoby Pearson. Long pass up for Black. He gets the defense to flinch twice. His shot no good. Rebound tipped around. And it just wouldn't go. Jaguars back on the attack. Darren Lucas White in the paint, tries to put a shot up. That went nowhere, and Terry Horn picks the ball out of the air. Gus Rowland now has the ball, passes it in for Black. Black, little fake here, does a little spin move, tries to drive in, but they're going to call him for a travel, and Augusta takes over again. Myers and Crawford will check back into the game for Augusta. Flanor and Whitehead stepping off. And now Myers will bring it up. Lucas White with the ball on the pass. Passes it in for Crawford, and Crawford just stepped out of bounds. Saw his toe hit the line. And the Pacers now get the beneficiaries of a turnover. 14:05 to go. It is still a 9-5 game. Pearson with a pass in for Black. Black trying to get around the defense, does a spin move, passes it back on out. Here's a three-point try by Canty, and Canty gets it down. And he'll say his toe was on the line, so it's not a three-pointer, but a long two. Augusta lead cut down to 2. Pass in for Crawford, a little shoving there, and they're going to call a blocking foul. And that draws some angry words from the Pacer bench and from the Pacer crowd. Canty getting called for the foul, and Crawford will go to the line for a couple of free throws. Coach Vanderslice pleading his case to the officials. Myers will inbound it. Deflected and stolen away by the Pacers. Back the other way on the hands of Tyler Johnson. Puts the shot up. That one wouldn't go, but Johnson able to corral the rebound. Pacer offense trotting back into territory. Pass into the far corner. Johnson looking for three. In and out of the basket. That one just wouldn't go. Myers to Moss. Moss on in near the paint. Sellers with it. Sellers gets it back to Moss. Moss all the way back out for Myers. Myers dancing around a couple of defenders, and he threw the ball out of bounds, but they'll say a Pacer touched it. Pacers can't seem to get a call going their way. Wait, hold on. The officials might be making a reversal on this call, and yes, they will. It will be USC Aiken ball. He clearly threw it out of bounds. There wasn't anybody, Pacer or Jaguar, anywhere near where that ball was headed. The Pacers taking over on the turnover. They'll get a chance to bring it on down and try to tie this one up with under 13 to go. Rolling, back on out. Here's the shot from Canty for three. Round the rim and wouldn't go. Crawford picks up the rebound. Myers gives it to Moss. Moss trying to get around the defense, but a foul will be called. And they're going to get Gus Rowland. Leaf Lenore back out there for Augusta. Tyree Myers will inbound it for the Jaguars. This is applying defense. And it's going to be a turnover. He took a little too long. And the Pacers will take over. And the Pacers will have Hairston check back into the game. Or sorry, he won't be checking back into the game. He'll be checking into the game for the first time. And Hairston will bring it up to Johnson. Back in for Black. Black trying to charge in. Puts his shot up. And after a moment it goes down. We are tied at 9 apiece. Myers. He's checked by Hairston near half court. Back in for Whitehead. Whitehead to Flanor. Flanor bounce pass for Myers. He has trouble with it, but brings it back in. Out to Moss. Moss looking for three, and Moss puts it down for the three-point basket. Hairston will give it on up for Canty. Canty in for Black, over to Pearson. Pearson thinks about three, but he'll charge in towards the basket. Awkward angle shot into the hands of Black. Out for Hairston for three. Off the rim and no good. Coming down with the rebound, Flanor. Myers on his way, and again, Myers is looking for a guy to be there, and I think somebody is just not in the right place at the right time, because those passes were earmarked for somebody that just wasn't there. But we're going to have a timeout on the floor. Augusta leads USC Aiken 12-9 with 11:37 to go in the first half. we return to the action. 11:37 left in the first half. Augusta leading the Pacers by 3. Pacers with the ball fresh out of the timeout. And Rowland will bring it on in. Hand off to Canty. Canty gives it to Johnson. Johnson in for Rowland in the paint. And he gets it to go down. Hoop and a harm for Gus Rowland. Awkward angle shot, and he somehow managed to put it down for 2. He will go to the line now for the three-point play at the charity stripe. Shot from Rowland, that's going to end up short. Rebound is battled for, but Augusta will come away with it. Lucas White with the ball. Sean Moss looking to direct traffic. He gives it to Flanor. Flanor to Whitehead. Whitehead now looking for an opening. Now Lucas White takes it in the far corner. Moss back to Whitehead. Back to Moss. In for Flanor. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Spin move, double coverage. And a jump ball is the call. And the Pacers will take over. Rowland will bring it up slowly. Rowland still with it. 15 seconds on the shot clock. Gives it to Hairston. Johnson to Hairston again. Back over for Rowland. Rowland trying to charge in. Almost loses it. Tries to get a pass on off. He gets it to Hairston. Now Hairston trying to drive on in. 3 seconds on the shot clock. 3-point try from Canty. And Canty gets it at the buzzer. And with that, the Pacers have taken the lead here, 14-12. Big three-point play as time expired on the shot clock. Lucas White with the ball now, trying to get around Hairston. Vanderslice directing traffic, tipped off the hands of Hairston. Johnson steals it away, in towards the basket, puts his shot up, and puts it in, and draws the foul. Tyler Johnson coming up big, stealing the ball away, putting it down, and drawing the foul. Another three-point play.
To the charity stripe for the three-point play, Tyler Johnson.
Shot is up from Johnson. And again, it's no good. Rebound tips around, and Crawford comes down with it. The Pacers unable to capitalize on 2 three-point plays, but they have a 4-point lead as Augusta brings it down on the hands of Myers. Myers gives it into Crawford. Crawford just hands it right back to him. Myers driving in a little bit, pulls back. Give it to Lucas White, and it's intercepted by Johnson. Johnson coming down to the other side, and he couldn't get it to go. But it goes out of bounds. Tough defense there by Darren Lucas White to deny Tyler Johnson. Jaguars obviously frustrated with those turnovers, and Johnson is just feeding on that. Pacers will keep the ball. Johnson tries to bounce pass it in, ends up going to the hands of Bell. Back to Johnson. Johnson pulls back, puts a shot up. That one no good. Bounced in and out or around the rim, and Augusta takes over. Myers tries to drive in, and he'll draw a foul as Darius Bell went up to try to block it, and he ended up catching a little too much of Myers on the play. No, they're actually going to call that on Hairston. So Bell ended up actually getting a good clean block on the ball, but Hairston, with the foul, will send Myers to the line for 2. And the first one is good, 16-13. Pacers making some changes. Hairston and Canty stepping off. Oliver and Horn coming on for USC Aiken. Second try is good. Pace lead cut down to 2 again. Rowland will bring it up. Rolling, getting double coverage. Almost had the balls poked away, but he holds on to it. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Rolling, looking for a screen, can't really get it. Drives in towards the basket, and he gets it to go for a couple of points. Awkward angles there for Rolling, but he's getting them to go. That's all that really matters in the end of the day. Lucas White checked by Tyler Johnson. Lucas White playing back a little bit, gives it to Whitehead. Whitehead, a little lob pass for Flanor, who tries to go around the defense. Rebound back out for Myers. Myers pulls back, fires a shot, and that goes off the back of the rim. Rebound, battled for, and Tyler Johnson comes up with it. Giving it to DeMontez Oliver all the way down to the other side. Pass is broken up, and Augusta comes away with it, but stepping out of bounds was Lee Flanor on what would have easily been a reversal of the court there. A lucky break for USC Aiken. And they'll take over at half court. Oliver will inbound it. Oliver giving it back to Rowland. Rowland trying to get on in, and as the ball was starting to get poked away, Rowland took an extra step, and that will be a traveling call. Augusta takes over. Timmy Sellers back out there for Augusta. Taking over for Lee Flanor, and Jacoby Pearson will come on for Tyler Johnson on the USC Aiken side. Augusta will take it out from their own end. Myers along with Lucas White coming down. Myers gives it to Lucas White, who's checked by Pearson. In for Crawford. Crawford from the free throw line puts it up and puts it in for two. Gus Rowland gives it to Oliver. Oliver, little fake out, giving it to Bell. Back in for Pearson. Pearson a sidestep, going for three. That one not going to go anywhere, but into the hands of Lucas White. Darren Lucas White back down the other way. Charges in through the defense. Foul is called. Basket no good. And it looks like Gus Rowland will get called for the foul. And we will have a full timeout, a full media timeout. 7:26 to go. Pacers leading 18-16, pending two free throws from the Jaguar end. And the timeout is over. We'll get back to basketball. Augusta will go to the line for two free throws, trying to tie this game up at 18 apiece as they currently trail by two. At the line is number 11, Darren Lucas White. First shot is up, and that one is good, 18-17. Second free throw is also good. We are all tied up at 18 apiece. Black coming onto the court for Jarius Bell now. The Pacers will bring it down the court. Rowland flanked by Oliver. Oliver giving it off to Black. Oliver gets the ball once again. Gives it to Horn. Horn thinks about three, decides against it, puts a shot up in the paint. No good. Black on the rebound. Also no good. Rebound picked up by Oliver. Out for Rowland. It was intercepted by Lucas White, but he just put a toe out of bounds. The ball will stay in the hands of USC Aiken. Pearson will inbound it. Horn picks it up. Now Rowland takes it, giving it back to Pearson. Pearson looking for an open lane. He moves in towards the basket, puts a shot up in the paint. Awkward angle, but there's Latravian Black to pick it up. 2 seconds on the shot clock. You got to fire it now. And no good, as it'll be a shot clock violation. Terry Horn thought that the shot had gone off, but it didn't touch anything but the underside of the netting. And so Augusta takes over on the miscue. Myers up for Lucas White. Lucas White trying to get around Pearson, has the ball poked away. He's down on the ground, tries to throw a pass on out to somebody, but it ends up going towards the scoring table, which actually is no longer the scoring table. That's now an elevated spot. Normally it used to be on the floor. They changed things around a little bit in this COVID season. The Pacers taking over just past the half-court mark. 6:33 left to go in the first half. It's a pretty even matchup so far, with some intense plays on both ends. Oliver gives it to Pearson. Pearson looking for an open man. He finds Black, who's checked by Crawford. Black pulls back a little bit, puts a shot off, no good. Rebound picked up by Black, and that one is denied on the putback. Timmy Sellers going up and getting a block there, but Pacers will keep possession of the ball with an 18-second shot clock. Pearson inbounds it to Rowland. Plenty of time. Try to set up the offense. Rowland hands it off for Oliver. Now it's Horn. It's back to Rowland. Rowland trying to get around Lucas White. Triple coverage here. Sneaks around. Gives it back to Oliver. DeMontez Oliver looking for three. That one no good off the back of the rim. And the rebound picked up by Myers. Myers brings it back the other way. Myers drives in hard, gives it off to Sellers, who lets two Pacers fly over top of him before drawing the foul on the shot. And DeMontez Oliver getting called for the foul. And Sellers will go to the line now for a pair of tosses. First toss is up. And it is no good. Score remains unchanged. Quincy Canty coming on for USC Aiken, as well as Tyler Johnson. Rowland and Oliver stepping off. Sean Moss back out there for Augusta. And I believe he took over for Tyree Myers. Second free throw attempt is also no good. Pacers come up with the rebound. And Hairston will bring it up off the pass from Black. Terry Horn in for Black. Black near the free throw line, hands it off to Johnson. Johnson tries to get around Crawford. That one easily rejected by Crawford, I should say. Lucas White in for Moss. Crawford with the ball. He's checked by Black. Now he's double coverage with Horn. Gets around the defenders, puts a shot up, no good. Rebound, and the putback is good. And it's going to be a foul against the Pacers. So Crawford will go to the line for the three-point play. And Crawford drains the shot to complete the three-point play. It's 21-18 Augusta. Hairston bringing it up. Hands it off to Johnson, who passes it over for Horn. Horn back on in for Black. Black Almost unchecked, thought about a shot, drives on in instead, puts his shot up. That one no good. Rebound stolen away, back by Black. He puts another shot up. That one no good, but he draws the foul and will take a trip to the charity stripe. And Tyshawn Crawford gets tabbed with the foul. And with under 5 minutes to go, LaTraven Black will go to the line. First shot is up and good, 21-19. Second free throw attempt is no good, so Pacers still down by 2 as Augusta comes up with the rebound. Sean Moss, checked by Hairston. Pulls back a little bit. Pass in for Lucas White, and Lucas White gets the ball stripped out of his hand. Or no, he just ended up losing control of the ball, as they say that it's USC Aiken ball. But no Pacer touched it, and they will take advantage of a turnover. Rowland back onto the court, taking over for Terry Horn. And now Rowland will bring it up. Rowland trying to get through the defense. Pulls back, gives it to Black. Black looking for an open man. Now he's directing traffic. Fake handoff to Johnson. Now he gives it to Canty. Canty looking for 3. That one just a little off to the right. Augusta picks it up on the rebound. Lucas White gives it in for Flanor. Flanor denied. But a foul will be called on Black on the play. 7th foul of the half for USC Aiken. So Augusta in the bonus now with 4:08 to play in the first. First shot is good. 22-19. Darius Bell coming back onto the court, taking over for Black. Second shot is up and no good. Pacers pick up the rebound. Augusta lead is 3 with 4 minutes to go. Johnson to Hairston. Hairston, a little elbowing, but no call. Puts his shot up and puts it down for 2. Lucas White will bring it up. Checked by Hairston, gives it to Moss. In for Crawford. Checked by Bell. His shot no good. And the rebound is picked up by Canty. Pacers back the other way. Long pass for Hairston. Sails over his head and goes out of bounds. And we have our under 4-minute media timeout, which means we will go to a break. It is a 1-point game with Augusta leading 22-21 with 3.5 to play. Fresh out of the timeout, Augusta will take over, and they'll bring it on down with Lucas White. Passes in for Flanor, looking for Crawford. He finds him. But Crawford is triple teamed. Ball bounces around, but it's recovered by the Pacers, and Rowland brings it back the other way. Rowland to Hairston. Hairston, with all the time in the world, can't get it to go for three. And it's brought back quickly by Augusta. Moss steps forward looking for two, and he puts it in. Pacers with 3 minutes to work, down by 3. Harrison traveling around with it. Trying to direct some traffic to find a way around Moss. Hands it off to Johnson. Johnson's pass almost misses Rowland, but he's able to reach back and grab it. Darius Bell back in for Rowland. Rowland tries to put a shot up, gets it away, but draws the foul instead. And Darren Lucas White getting called for a foul. And now Rowland will go to the line for two. Chance to bring the score back within 1. And the first one just a bit short. The score remains unchanged. Second try from Rowland is good, and the Pacers pull within 2. Myers brings it up. Watched closely by Rowland. Passes it off for Moss, who looks for Crawford. Crawford almost has it stolen away. And a call here looks like a foul going to be called. Darius Bell gets called for the foul. Now Tyshawn Crawford will go to the line for 1 and 1. First shot is up and no good. Canty comes down with the rebound, and the Pacers bring it on back. Rowland in hard, gets it stripped out of his hand, but draws the foul. And that's going to be against Sean Moss. And Rowland will go back to the free throw line for a couple more tries. And Rowland 1 for 3 on the day from the charity stripe, trying to get those numbers a little bit better. A good opportunity to do that here. And the first one is good, 24-23. Pacers back within 1. Second try is also good, and we're tied at 24 with 2:18 to go. First half in its waning moments. Crawford with a pass up from Moss. Full court coverage by the Pacers as Moss drives into the basket, puts it up and puts it in for 2. Rowland directs traffic, gives it to Hairston. In for Bell. Back on out for Rowland. Rowland pulls back a little bit, puts an awkward angle shot up. That wouldn't go. Rebound is picked up by Flanor, and they're going to roll around on the ground and call it a jump ball. Augusta will keep possession of the ball. Myers will bring it up. Moss covered by Hairston. Passes out, deflected, and stolen away by Rowland. Rowland flanked by Hairston, bounces a pass to him, shot is up, and shot is in. Hairston putting it down for 2. Myers with it again, gives it to Moss, who hands it right back. Whitehead, now he'll pass it right back to Myers, directs traffic. In for Crawford. Crawford in the paint, puts his shot up, rebound scooped up by Flanor, who's double coverage under the basket, puts an awkward shot up, rebound battled around for it, still nobody in clean possession, and it's going to be another jump ball as they wrestle for it on the ground like this was a game of football. And it's Pacer basketball as they come out with it at the bottom of the pile. And exactly 60 seconds to go in the first half, and we're tied at 26. Pacers bringing it up. Rowland gets a screen, moves into the paint, passes it back on out for Canty. Canty looking for three, and Canty gets it! 3-point basket with 45 seconds to go. Augusta on the attack. Whitehead gets the pass, gives it right back to Myers. Myers for a long three. That comes up short. Flanor right there for the rebound. His shot goes up, draws a foul. No good. Hairston getting called for the foul. So Lee Flanor will go to the line for two with 30.9 seconds left in the first half. Augusta trailing USC Aiken 29-26, pending these tosses. First one is no good. Score unchanged. Sellers back out there taking over for Crawford on the Augusta side. Flanor for his second try. And that one is good, and the score 29-27. And a timeout called before the Pacers can inbound it. So with 30.9 seconds to go, it's a 30-second timeout. We will take a 30-second break and be right back. And we'll get right back to it. Pacers to inbound it. Shot clock and game clock are the same, pending except for 0.9 of a second. Rowland brings it up slowly. He's got Sean Moss watching him. Rowland now picks up some speed, gives it to Johnson. Johnson's pass is tipped around, intercepted by the Jaguars. Going in is Myers. He can't get it to go. And he just getting out of bounds does the ball, but it will be Augusta basketball with 5.2 seconds left to go. A chance here for Augusta to tie this thing up or even take a 1-point lead before we go to the break. And we got another 30-second timeout. Instead of going to the break, we'll go ahead and give you some of these stats as they should remain relatively unchanged before the half. Scoring leader for USC Aiken right now is Quincy Canty. He has 8 points on the day, followed by Gus Rowland's 7. On the Augusta side of scoring, good spread across the board as Sean Moss and Tyshawn Crawford both lead the squad there with 7 points apiece, followed by Lee Flanor with 4, and now any of those could change, pending what happens in the next 5.2 seconds. So we'll get right back to it. Inbound pass coming from Myers. Pacer defense applying as much pressure as it can. Pass comes in for Flanor. 3 seconds left. A shot goes up and shot goes in. And time will expire, and we are all tied up at 29-29 as we go into the half. We will take a short break, be right back with the team stats probably a few minutes before the second half begins. So don't go anywhere. We'll be back with the second half of the action in just a little bit. And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Marcus Johnson here again. Thanking you for joining us on this wonderful evening for some USC Aiken basketball as the Pacers battle the Jaguars. And right now it is all tied up 29-29 as we are only a couple of minutes away from the start of the second half. And as we gave you the individual stats near the end of the first half, we'll go ahead and give you the team stats for the half. And it's all tied up. Field goal percentage is slightly in favor, is actually quite a bit in favor for Augusta. They are 41.7% to USC Aiken's 30.6. However, Pacers with 11 of 36 from the field to Augusta's 10 of 24. The three-point line hasn't been good to either team, as Pacers have only managed 3 from beyond the arc. Augusta has only managed a pair from beyond it. At the free throw line, Augusta is 7 of 12, while the Pacers are 4 of 8. And in the rebound category, it is pretty much a deadlock with Augusta's 24 rebounds to USC Aiken's 21. Looking at everything else, lots of lead changes throughout the game. 13 turnovers for Augusta to USC Aiken's 7 turnovers, and the Pacers have capitalized on those turnovers, scoring 14 points to Augusta's 6. The Pacers needing to keep that trend going, drawing a lot of turnovers, forcing a lot of turnovers, and then capitalizing on them if they want to win this game. It's an even matchup either way. Again, both teams coming in with the same overall record. And the conference record a little bit different, though, with the Pacers 4-1. Again, Augusta 3-2, but that really doesn't mean too much considering the only teams that these schools are playing are Peach Belt foes. It's just some of them have been slated for conference play, others just general play. We're 30 seconds away from the second half. Pacers trying to come away with a big win over the Jaguars here in Aiken, South Carolina. And so both teams are out there on the court. Augusta will start off the second half with the ball. And we're just waiting for the official go-ahead. And now they've got everything set across the way, and the ball is inbound, and we're back underway. Myers with it. He gets it back from Darren Lucas White. And they're passing it back and forth between each other. See what these teams, what kind of adjustment both teams have made. As Myers goes up for 2, shot no good. Rowland coming up with the rebound and bringing it back quickly the other way. Dances around a defender, gets it to Black, and Black ends up passing it out of bounds into the Pacer bench. Oh, an exciting moment ends in nothing for USC Aiken. Augusta back the other way. Lucas White trying to find an open lane. He passes it on off. Back to Lucas White, who's trying to get around Pearson. Into the paint, pass broken up and rolls out of bounds. I believe that went off the Pacer defender, and that is the call. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Still plenty of time for Augusta to make something happen here offensively. And they lost sight of the ball. It rolled under the bleachers, I think. Oh, they found it. A little bit of fishing, but they have extra game balls just for that reason. Pass is quickly put on into Whitehead, who draws a foul on the shot. Did not go in, however, so he will go to the charity stripe for a pair of tosses. And so Whitehead at the line for his first toss. And that one is good. Augusta takes the lead, 30-29. And both free throws are good. Augusta out to a 2-point lead to start off the second half. Oliver with the ball, gives it off to Horn, who gives it to Pearson. Pearson moving into the paint, puts a shot up. No good. Rebound battled for, and the Pacers come away with it. Back out for Oliver. 10 seconds to work with on the shot clock. Rowland standing back, 5 seconds left on the clock. His pass broken up and stolen away by Augusta. Myers driving in hard and off of the body of a Pacer defender and out of bounds. It'll be Augusta basketball. Myers working it from outside the arc, gives it to Whitehead. Over for Darren Lucas White, who passes it in for Crawford. Crawford gets a pass under the basket, and Oliver will end up fouling Flanor. Question is, was it on the floor or on the shot? And they'll say it was on the shot. So Lee Flanor will go to the line for two. And the first one is up and in, 32-29. And the second one is also good. So 4 straight points on free throws for Augusta gives them a 4-point lead, 33-29. Oliver with a little pass in for Black. Black looking for Oliver. He finds him. Oliver driving in towards the basket, puts his shot up. That one wouldn't go even close to the net. And now the Jaguars back on the attack. Myers with the ball. Darren Lucas White gives it to Crawford. Crawford under the basket, gets double teamed, doesn't have an open shot, tries to put something up, but it goes around the rim and nowhere, but into the waiting hands of the Pacers. Oliver tries for a dunk, but he whiffed on it, and the Jaguars coming away with it again. In for Crawford under the basket. Crawford steps around the defender, puts his shot up, and Black coming up with the rebound after it wouldn't go. Pearson with it. Now he gives it to Horn, who gives it off to Oliver. Pearson again with the ball, trying to get around Whitehead. Long pass on out for Horn. Horn looking for three, and Horn drains it. 1-point game with one basket just like that, and Augusta back on the attack. Darren Lucas White lets things set up, gives it off to Flanor. Flanor, a little bounce pass to Myers. Myers looking around for a lane or for a pass. He's got Lucas White, drives in himself, and his shot goes in for two. Rowland to Pearson. Pearson gets a bit of a screen, but he can't really go anywhere. Pulls back, fires for three, off the back of the rim. Rebound, battled for. Oliver comes up with it. Back to Horn. Horn from the corner, and it just wouldn't go around the rim and out. And a foul called on the play, and that's going to be against DeMontez Oliver. Third foul of the half for the Pacers, and some substitutions now as Canty comes on for Oliver and Moss steps on for Crawford on the Augusta side. Lucas White bringing it up, gives it to Moss. Moss to Flanor. Flanor to Lucas White. In for Whitehead, who fires a shot from the paint, and he puts it down for 2. Pearson with the ball on the pass from Rowland. Spins around Moss, passes it back out for Horn. Horn looking for 3 again, up and off the rim, rebound, scooped up by Leaf Lenore. And a call of time here. And they will give a technical foul to USC Aiken on Coach Vanderslice. And a full media timeout while they try to sort out this mess. It's 15:28 to go here in the second half. Augusta with a 5-point lead, leading 37-32. And back to it. Sean Moss will go to the line to shoot the free throws on the technical. And the first one is good, 38-32. And that one is also good, 39-32. Augusta pulling away from USC Aiken here in the second half. The Pacers have only managed 3 points to Augusta's 10. Whitehead with the ball. Lenore's pass goes out of bounds, and it will be Pacer basketball. A lucky break there for USC Aiken. Gives them a chance to try to stop this run that the Jaguars are on. Terry Horn with it, gives it in for Black. Black on out. Canty looking for 3. Shot no good. Rebound picked up by Black. Pass deflected out of bounds by Leaf Lenore. It will stay USC Aiken basketball. Inbound pass to Canty. Gives it to Horn, who hands it off to Black. Black driving into the paint, does a little fake out, draws the foul on the shot, but he couldn't get it to go down, so he will just go to the line for a couple of free throws on the foul by Timmy Sellers. And the first shot is up, no good. He's just really struggling on the free attempts that they've been given. They are 4 of 9 on the day. And make that 4 of 10 as that one also misses. That's a big stat of note to keep an eye on as this game progresses, is the free throw percentage. We'll see how much that affects the game. Moss gives it in for Flanor. Flanor trying to fight off Canty in the paint. Ends up just passing it off for Whitehead to try to relieve some pressure. 10 seconds left on the shot clock. Lucas White directs traffic, moves into the paint, pulls back, fires a shot. That one off the back of the rim. Flanor picks up the rebound, new shot clock. Flanor looking for an opening to take the shot. He does. That one bounces around, and it's stolen away by Black on the rebound. Traven Black just gives it to Rowland. Rowland gets a bit of a screen, but he runs into double coverage. Passes it back on out for Pearson. Pearson, a little spin move around Lucas White. Does another spin move. Gives it out to Terry Horn. Horn driving in towards the basket. Puts a shot up. No good. And Pacers are looking for a call of goaltending as that ball was earmarked to go down. And there it is. There's the call for goaltending. So it will be a three-point play for the Pacers. Sean Moss gets called on the foul. Tyshawn Crawford subbing back in as he would take over for Leaf Flanor. At the line. And making the basket to complete the three-point play is Terry Horn. Lucas White will bring it up for Augusta. Gets a screen. Tries to move around Pearson, pulls back and fires a shot and puts it down for two. Gus Rowland now with the ball, gives it to Quincy Canty. Canty giving it in for Black. Black looks for an open man. He finds it in Terry Horn. Horn tries to fight his way into the paint, but he'll pass it back out instead for Pearson. Now Pearson driving into the paint. Pearson puts a shot up. It bounces around. Rebound stolen away by Crawford. Augusta back the other way. Lucas White almost loses it on a nifty move, but he holds on to it. Whitehead with a bounce pass. In under the paint, and Crawford slams it down. Nobody checked him at all. And the ball stolen back away by Augusta. And they come back down the other way quickly. And, messing up the dunk attempt was Timmy Sellers. And that will draw a 30-second timeout. Augusta leads 43-35 as it turns into a media timeout. We'll be back in just a minute. And with 12:56 to go, we'll return to the action. USC Aiken will have the ball outside the media timeout. They trail the Jaguars 43-35 here in the second half. Johnson with it, gives it to Hairston. Now Black with the ball. Thinks he has an open lane, does a spin move, puts a shot up, and puts it down for two. Black weaving his way through the defenders to score that one, and now Augusta on the attack to answer. Long pass in for Crawford is broken up and stolen away by the Pacers. Hairston will bring it down. Black the one to break that play up. Give the Pacers a chance to bring it on in. Hairston puts a shot up. Hairston weaving his way through the defenders to score. And the lead cut down to 4 now. And the ball tipped around a little bit. There's a little discrepancy. The live stat score shows 43-40 the score, but the scoreboard here in the Convocation Center is showing 43-39. We'll try to figure out which one is correct. I think the live stats one is correct, so we'll go by that for right now until told otherwise. But then again, nobody's saying anything about that. Pacers on the attack. Here's the three-point try. The three-point basket by Quincy Canty is good, and it is either tied up at 43 or it's a one-point game. Honestly, I don't know just yet. We'll figure this out one way or another. Crawford with the ball now, fighting his way under the basket. He slams it on down for 2. And now Rowland will bring it up. Rowland fights his way through the defense. And Rowland basically gets knocked down, but we'll show a sportsmanship there as Lucas White picks him up off the floor. So clean plays all around. And Sean Moss with the ball for Augusta. And a foul called here against Augusta, an offensive foul. 21, Timmy Sellers gets called for the foul, and that will draw some substitutions. I think we're having a timeout, according to the horn. But we will take a short break and be right back in just a little bit. And we are back, and the scoreboard has been corrected here in the Convocation Center. The live stat score was the correct score. And the score 45-43, USC Aiken with the ball outside of the timeout. Only down by 2 with 10:40 to go. And still a momentary pause in the action. Head coach Dip Mitras having some words with the officials on the bench there, trying to figure out, I don't know what's going on here, why we have such a delay in getting the game going again. And there's the answer. Tyshawn Crawford needs to be attended to over on the bench. So just a little extra time to catch their breaths as Crawford heads back out. And Rowland will bring it up for the Pacers. In for Darius Bell, who checked in. Bell fakes a pass. Doesn't have too many openings, but he threads one into Rowland. Rowland, who's checked by Moss, tries to move into the paint, puts his shot up. That one no good. Leaf Lenore comes up with the rebound. Tyree Myers moving up, watched by Rowland. Long pass in for Crawford. Crawford tries to get one under the basket. It's broken up, and still a loose ball. Nobody with the ball now, and now Leaf Lenore steals it away. Moss looking for three, and Moss can't get it despite being wide open. Now Johnson onto the other end. Draws the foul on Crawford. Nifty little move as he almost got that one to go into the basket. But drawing a foul is the next best thing. Crawford with his second foul of the evening. And Tyler Johnson will go to the line for two. Only the second trip for Tyler Johnson to the charity stripe this season. And he misses the first shot. Score remains unchanged. Pacers 6 of 13 from the line. Got to get those numbers up. Those are free points that they're just leaving out there, as Coach Vanderslice will say. But this time Johnson gets one to go down, and it's a 1-point game. Myers watched closely by Hairston. Hairston trying to reach in for it, but Myers keeps it away. Pass over for Lenore. Almost picked off by Rowland. Moss able to dance around him, though. Passes it off back for Myers, who gives it into Crawford near the basket. Back on out for Myers, fakes a pass, gives it to Moss. Moss for three, and Moss gets that one to go down. And it is a 4-point game, just like that. Rowland in towards the basket, kicks it back out for Hairston. Hairston steps back, Hairston looks for three. Hairston gets it down and draws the foul! The rare 4-point play coming up as Hairston, Donovan Hairston with the clutch basket and a chance to tie it all in one. And it wouldn't go again. Pacers unable to capitalize on those hoop and harms, but they get a nice 3-point basket and bring it back to a 1-point game. Myers moves his way through the defenders, in on Bell, and Bell will foul Myers, but the ball didn't go down. So going to the line is Tyree Myers for two. And the first shot is good, 49-47. Second attempt is no good. Rebound picked up by Augusta. Myers. Well, they're going to blow a whistle here. So making some substitutions of the Jaguars. Moss to Lucas White, back on over. Back to Lucas White. Back on over to Moss. In for Crawford. Crawford back out for Lucas White. Lucas White to Moss on a no-look. Moss in for Crawford. Broken up and picked off by Tyler Johnson. Johnson moving down quickly. Now he'll turn it on over to Hairston, and Hairston couldn't hold on to it. It was poked out of his hands by Whitehead. The Pacers will keep the ball. Hairston will inbound it. Johnson picks up the inbound pass. Back out for Rowland. Rowland gives it to Canty, who gives it right back. Rowland tries to move in, and we're going to get a stoppage here of a double dribble call on Augusta Roland, so Augusta will take over on the turnover. Darren Lucas White bringing it up for the Jaguars. 8:10 to go in regulation. Whitehead, his pass is picked off by Roland. Roland flanked by Hairston, tries to get the pass off, but he just missed Hairston. Pacers trying to get a little flashy here in some cases. That's kind of biting them in a few instances. Darren Lucas White moves it up for Myers. Crawford with the ball now. All out for Moss. Moss looks for three. No good. Tipped into the hands of Roland, who will bring it back. Pacers can tie it here with a nice 2-point basket. We'll see what they do. Roland dances around Lucas White. Drives in towards the basket. And Roland puts it down. And we are tied at 49. Pass broken up a little bit by Roland. Augusta able to recover. Myers looking for the three-point basket, and Myers puts it down to answer the Pacers' call of a tie. Canty with the ball, gives it to Johnson. Johnson steps around the arc, almost a traveling call, loses possession, and he's going to draw a foul instead of letting Darren Lucas White have a free run on the basket. And with this stoppage, we will go to another timeout. 6:56 to go in regulation. Augusta leading 52-49 over the Pacers. Break is over. We'll get back to the action. Latravian Black and DeMontez Oliver are back in the game for USC Aiken. Just under 7 minutes to go, Augusta with the ball. Lucas White and Myers playing hot potato with the ball. Now Myers back out for Moss. Lucas White now takes the ball on a pass. No look, and a shot clock violation is the call. And the Pacers take over. Roland slowly bringing it on down. Black tries to charge in, kicks it back out to Horn. Hairston lets a man jump past him, back on out for Roland. Roland, a fake shot, driving in. Passes it back out for Hairston, 10 seconds on the shot clock. Hairston driving in hard, and an offensive foul is the call. Hairston with a little extra shove there on Crawford. Takes a lot of force, though, to bring down a 7'2" man, so even though he gets called for the foul, he should feel good about that. Myers almost has his pass picked off. Lucas White, though, on the reception. Back over for Myers. Lucas White takes the ball, tries to move on in. His pass is broken up and stolen away. Rolling the other way quickly. Pulls back a minute, does a spin move, puts it up, and puts it down for 2. Augusta the other way with a 1-point lead. 5:30 to go in regulation. Moss looking for 3. Bounces around, rebound, scooped up by Black. Pacers back the other way. Rolling. Drives in, kicks it back on out for Hairston. Hairston, no look to Black. Black puts it in for 2. Tyree Myers lets things set up. Gets the ball back on a pass back from Moss, who gets it right back. Crawford takes the ball right by the charity stripe. Long shot from Myers for 3, no good. Rebound is contested by nobody. As we have a whistle and I believe a foul here on Sean Moss, and the Pacers will take over. Whitehead back into the game for Moss. And that's no surprise. Moss with 4 fouls on the game, and with just under 5 minutes to go, you want to try to save him for any late game theatrics, I guess you could say. Heroics, that's the word. Roland, speaking of which, moves in. Roland around the defenders, puts the layup up and in for 2. Augusta bringing it back slowly. Lucas White with a pass to Whitehead. Lucas White back on over for Myers, in for Crawford. Crawford will slam it on down, and it's a 1-point game. Roland moving up. Gives it to Hairston. Hairston with a pass to Black. Black wants to hand it back, but Terry Horn is right there to bail him out of what could have been a disaster. Roland takes the ball again and moves back with 10 seconds on the shot clock, trying to get set up. Roland gets a bit of a screen, pulls back, passes out for Hairston. Hairston driving in towards the basket. Hairston with a shot. Hairston with the basket! Nifty moves. Well, now the flashiness is showing up, and it's coming through for the Pacers. Hairston with another big basket around the defense. Long pass on out for Whitehead. Back to Lucas White, almost stolen away. In for Myers. Myers' shot just a little off the mark, and it's picked up by Horn. Roland the other way. Long pass for Hairston. Hairston pulling back for Roland. Roland looking for 3. Roland couldn't get it. Lucas White picks up the rebound on the 3-point try. Myers will bring it in. Myers' pass broken up a little bit. Flanor, great job keeping it going. Back out past half court, and that's a turnover. That's Pacer basketball. 3:02 remaining in regulation, and we've got a good one here at the Convocation Center. Pacers leading the Jaguars 57-54. It's not over yet, and we'll be back in just a bit. 3:02 left in regulation, and it is a 3-point game between the Jaguars and the Pacers. It has been a back-and-forth affair all evening, with both teams fighting for supremacy of the river area. Rowland with the ball. Brings it in for the Pacers. Gets it to Black. Black, another pass out for Rowland. Rowland looking for an open man. Gets a bit of a screen from Black. Spins around, drives into the paint. Pulls back, kicks it out to Oliver. Oliver looking for three. Oliver drains a three! Augusta back on the attack. Whitehead looks for an open lane. Hairston applying the pressure. Over for Myers. Myers gets it in for Flanor. Flanor gets pressured. Long three-point try by Whitehead, and Whitehead puts that one down. And a timeout coming up here. A 30-second turns into a full timeout. And we will go ahead and, I'd say take a break, but we just took one. But we'll look at some of the stats right now to try to take a look and see how this game might play out. And one of the stats of note is definitely that free throw percentage. Pacers are 7 of 15 from the charity stripe. Augusta is 14 of 20 for 70%. Now, if Augusta is going to win this game, it is going to come from that charity stripe. The Pacers, their best bet is from the field. They are 23 of 59 from the field to Augusta's 19 of 44. Augusta with a better field goal percentage, but the Pacers outshooting them also past the arc. 7 of 22 to Augusta's 5 of 15. So Rowland will bring the ball up for the Pacers as they hold a 3-point lead with 2 1/4 to go. Rowland with the pass in for Black. Black, not a lot of coverage on him, moves it in for Hairston. Hairston gets around the defense and puts one in. The layups from Hairston continue as he is finding ways to beat the defense and put some remarkable shots in from the most unorthodox of angles. In for Crawford. Crawford all the way back out for Whitehead. Whitehead looks for three, and Whitehead puts down a three. It is a 2-point game. Now back-to-back 3-point baskets have really brought this one in. Rowland brings it up slowly with $1:30 to go. Rowland in for Black. Black just standing there looking for something. Gives it to Horn. Horn looks for three. That one just a bit short, but there to get it is Horn again. He picks up his own rebound in the far corner. Hairston takes it up by the NCAA mark. Getting direction straight from Vanderslice. A minute to go in the game. Hairston kicks it back out. Oliver with 4 seconds on the shot clock. That one wouldn't go, and that one's on the ground. Shot clock violation the call, or jump ball. What are they calling it? And they're going to call it a shot clock violation, so it'll be Augusta basketball with 59.5 to go. So Augusta will have the basketball. Pacers need to lock down the three. That's where Augusta's been burning them in these last couple minutes. Lucas White with it. Gets it out for Myers. Myers with a pass into the corner. Whitehead looks for three. That one no good. Rebound is picked up by Black. Pacers with the ball. Rowland coming back the other way. Rowland looking for an opening. Runs into a man. Offensive foul, the call. Rowland probably should have pulled back a little bit. Had plenty of time to burn. Try to make some smarter plays. Try to kill enough of the clock and then take a shot to at least make this a 4-point game. Instead, Augusta will again have an opportunity to come down and take the lead. And Augusta is going to burn as much of that clock as they can. Try to get the late game heroics here. 30 seconds on the clock. Myers with the ball. Myers. Checked by Hairston. Gets a screen. But there's Horn. Myers passes it in. And he stepped out of bounds. It's Pacer basketball with 20.1 seconds left on the clock. Augusta will apply a lot of pressure here, but not before we go to a break. Again, 20 and a tenth of a second to go. The Pacers lead it by 2. It is 62-60. It is Pacer basketball. What's going to happen next? I don't know. Ladies and gentlemen, and all of those within Pacer Nation, these are the kind of games you live for. A close game in the waning seconds. You have the ball against your arch rival, but it's not over yet. Augusta is a resilient team. We'll see what they do. Oliver passes it in for Roland. Roland tries to get around, loses the ball, but not before a whistle goes. And a foul is called. Leaf Lenore getting called for the foul, and that might have been costly because the Pacers almost lost that one. But nonetheless, they will go to the line to try to shoot 2. At the line is somebody. It looks like it's going to be Gus Rowland. Rowland with a chance here to make up for a few of those missed free throws. We'll see how he does. One and one. And the first one is good. It's a 3-point game, 63-60. Pacer defense will fall back. And both free throws are good, 64-60. 17.2 seconds to go. They'll roll it on in. Myers brings it up quickly. Driving in towards the basket, kicks out for 3. Whitehead with the long shot. He drains it. It is not over yet. A 30-second timeout will be the call. It is 9.3 seconds to go. And Augusta, again, draining those threes in clutch time, is keeping this one close. Flashbacks of the NCAA tournament are rolling through my head back in 2019 when Augusta kept draining threes late in the game to overcome quite the deficit and eventually force overtime against this very Pacers squad. I'm sure that is fresh in the mind of Coach Vanderslice as he draws up the plan, formulating a strategy to try to secure this win on home court. They have the lead. It's a 1-point lead. They're looking for a quick foul by Augusta, or even worse, in USC Aiken's case, a violation which would result in a turnover. DeMontez Oliver will inbound it. He gets it to Roland, and there's the intentional foul. Burned 1.1 seconds off the clock. Or 1.2 seconds off the clock. Whatever the clock was at, it basically burned a second. Roland will go to the line again with a 1-point lead. 8 seconds left in the game. 1-1. And the shot is short. 7 seconds to go. Augusta bringing it down. Myers loses the ball. It rolls out of bounds. USC Aiken basketball with 1.9 to go. Sean Moss will check in for Crawford. Pearson back into the game for the Pacers. Oliver will inbound it with 1.9 seconds to go. Oliver gets it in. There's the intentional foul. 0.7 of a second on the clock. And Sean Moss fouls out of the game as he came in just to get that foul. Crawford will come back into the game for Augusta. Jacoby Pearson at the line. Pearson 13 of 19 from the charity stripe on this season. And he doesn't make the first basket. It's inbound, and that is almost it. Well, the clock reads 0. Augusta just managed to get the timeout in. We'll see what the official call is from the officials. Did Augusta get the timeout in time? 0.4 of a second will be put back on the game clock. Well, so this will give Augusta the chance to launch one down the court. Pacer defense setting itself up. Aired in and intercepted by Rowland. That's ball game. The Pacers win it 64-63 over their rival Augusta. A little show of sportsmanship between the coaches as they point to each other at their benches. What a game we have witnessed here in the Convocation Center. A great matchup that usually follows when these two teams meet up. But the Pacers are the victors of this one. They improved to 6-3 overall with a 5-1 conference mark. The Jaguars dropped to 5-3 overall and are now even at 500 in the conference play at 3-3. We'll let the final stats roll on through, and then we will give you those individual leaders in just a moment. And as I'm talking about that, the final stats have come in. The points leaders for Augusta, Whitehead leading the way for the Jaguars with 16 points on the game, followed up by Tyshawn Crawford with 13, and Sean Moss was the number 3 man with 12 points. No double-doubles on the Jaguars side, but we look at the USC Aiken side, and we have Gus Rowland as the point leader with 15 points scored on the game. Hairston picking up 13, and a lot of those were clutch points as he got through the defense and put beautiful layups in at the weirdest of angles. Following in Hairston's footstep as the number 3 scorer is Terry Horn with 12 points, including some beautiful three-point shots. And on the defensive side for USC Aiken, Latravian Black coming up big with 12 rebounds altogether and an almost even split of 7 and 5 between the offensive and defensive rebounds. Well, the Pacers secure the win here in Aiken, South Carolina. Their next matchup is coming up actually quite soon, as they are scheduled to take on Georgia College in Milledgeville, Georgia on Saturday, January 30th at 1:30 p.m. The next home game, however, will be against the Flagler Saints on February 3rd. That is a Wednesday. Be sure to tune in at 7:30 p.m. for that. For what should be an exciting matchup against one of the top teams in the Peach Belt Conference. But until then, I am Marcus Johnson. Thank you for joining us for one heck of a basketball game, and have a good one.